Hey strong people, Kalle Beck here from StartingStrongman.com. If you like what I do, or even if you don't and you just need some new stuff, go to store.startingstrongman.com for all of your strongman training needs, from SBD knee sleeves to Cerberus figure 8 straps, my ebook, How to Train Strongman in a Regular Gym, and other authors' ebooks such as Built by Mike Westerling, and The Cube Method for Strongman by Josh Thigpen at store.startingstrongman.com. It's an exciting time for strongman. We have the Arnold Strongman Classic just about a week away, and this is going to be the first of a series of videos. And the first one, because I figure it needs its own video, there's so much going on and it's all people seem to care about, is a deadlift, is the Rogue Elephant Bar deadlift. And if anyone can pull over 500 kilograms on it and get $50,000 from Rogue for doing so. So I'm going to go over the rules for the event. I already discussed the elephant bar in detail and the differences in the history of strongman deadlift world records and what should count and can't and blah, blah, blah in a past video. You can go back and watch that. So here's the rules straight from the Arnold Strongman Classic promoters. Rules for the event. We'll use the round system. This is different from previous year. Usually it was just they just keep going, and if people call out their own attempts, then, and then it would just have to keep going rising bar style, and you call out your own attempts and you get 3 attempts. This time, we use round system. In the round system, all 10 men will do their first attempt. Whoever has the lowest opener goes first, to the highest goes last, so it won't be like, back then, people were done. This is going to take a lot longer, though. People were done by the time, someone like Halfdoor even takes his first attempt. But in this system, you're going to see everyone do 10. They're going to load it up accordingly. Then they're all going to do their second attempts. So yeah, then the bar goes back down in weight, and all 10 men do their second attempts, and then all 10 men make their third attempts. Rule number 2. Each man must finish his lift within 60 seconds of the time his name is called. Be ready to go so you don't lose time. 3. During the lift, the bar can be hitched, stopped, and even lowered so long as it's brought to the correct finish position at the conclusion of the lift. 4. The legs and body must be held straight and motionless, and the shoulders must be in line with the sides of the body before the down signal is given. The knees must be straight at the finish of the lift. 5. The bar cannot be bounced on the floor to gain momentum. 6. Greasing or oiling the thighs is prohibited. Baby powder is permitted on the thighs. 7. Before the contest begins, you will be given a piece of paper on which to write your first attempt. The expediter will note the time when she/he gave you the paper, and you will then have 10 minutes to turn in your first weight. If you do not turn in a first attempt at the end of 10 minutes, your first attempt will automatically become 751 pounds / 340 kilos, the lowest possible starting weight. This cannot be changed. 8. Following your first and second attempts, the lifter must tell the expediter what his next weight will be within 120 seconds. Failure to submit the next weight within 2 minutes will result in the lifter being assigned the next weight on the loading chart that's above what he had just attempted. A man who made 750 pounds on his first attempt and who fails to turn in a second attempt will be assigned 756 pounds, etc. 9. Once turned in by either the lifter or the expediter who has timed the lifter out, a weight cannot be changed except on the third attempt, when one change is permitted as long as the weight requested is not lower than what is already loaded on the bar and your name has not been called to begin the lift. 10. The lift must receive 2 out of 3 white lights to count as a good lift. So here's the part we're getting to. Special event, the Rogue Record Breakers. Following the completion of the official ASC deadlift contest, the top 3 finishers, whoever had the 3 biggest pulls from the actual contest, in that contest are invited to attempt to try and break the all-time strongman deadlift record of 500 kilos / 1,102.3 pounds set by Eddie Hall in 2016. See, people are trying to say that these are different records. The Arnold is targeting it directly. You can think what you want about that. Just writing off what's going on here. Not my words. If there are ties at either first, second, or third place, then both men involved in the tie are eligible to compete for the 50 grand. So that means if, there could be 4 people that do it. If someone decides to try and break the record within the Arnold Strongman Classic contest, say on a 3rd attempt, we will still hold this contest to allow the other qualifiers to also try the lift or better it, etc. If we decided to limit this special contest, it was decided to limit this special contest to the top 3 finishers so that it was not unfair to those men trying to win the deadlift event within the Arnold Strongman Classic competition itself. So something I want to make clear, any points, so after the people get their 3rd attempts, if they do this specific go for 500.5 or whatever, that doesn't count. So you could get 2nd or 3rd in the actual deadlift portion of the Arnold Strongman Classic and still get this world record. And this has happened in the past on 4th attempts. I think Mark Felix in the past on the 100 tire had done, gotten like 2nd to Zadrunas or Shaw. Then went, I'll try a record for my 4th and got it. Stuff like this has happened, in Strongman before. So, following the completion of the official Arnold Strongman Classic contest, bar will be loaded to 500.5 kilos, 1,103.4 pounds. The expediter will then ask the 3rd place finisher if he wishes to try the weight. If 3 takes it and misses, the 2nd place finisher then be offered a chance at the same weight, then 1st and so on. If there's a tie, they split the money, or one can ask for the bar to be loaded with an additional 5 pounds. The smallest amount of increase, an attempt 1108.4 / 502.76 kilo. And so, like whoever, let's say all 3 deadlift over 5, all 3 get 500.5, and then the other guy, then someone else just gets the next jump up, he gets all the money. Because the record was set in kilos and the rogue weights are in pounds, the possible weights for this event are 500.5 / 1103.5 all the way up to 508.48 / 1121. So let's say, I'm just going to say the 3 that have the biggest chance at being the top 3 at the end of this are Jerry Pritchett, Brian Shaw, and Hafthor Bjornsson. When we go through their training, Hafthor holds the current record, and I think it's 472, and he did that last year. Looked pretty good. And now in training, he did 1 more kilo, which is about 40 more pounds than he did the previous year. So he usually gets about 40 to 50 more pounds in contest than he does in training. Hafthor peaks very hard and very fast. And if you're going to go off of what he's done in training compared to last year, he's right on the cusp, I feel, of being able to get 500 kilos in the contest. Of course, Hafthor is also trying to win his 2nd straight Arnold Strongman Classic. Last year was the first year he ever won it, and I think he wants to see that reign keep going. So I think no matter what, a lot of people would say some people would maybe try to skip that record, but I think for Hafthor, he's going to try it any way he can, regardless if he missed more. If he has an opportunity to try 500.5, he's going to give it a good tug. Brian Shaw, I think, also wants it. Even though Brian Shaw has said in the past that he doesn't care as much about records as winning contests, I'd say that would make him a little less tentative. Like, so let's say he got 2nd in the event. He might not want to try a 4th attempt when they've probably already done 3 deadlifts over 900 and maybe even 2 over 1,000. Maybe even 3 over 1,000 before this. Adding a 4th at the start of the heaviest strongman contest of the year is extremely taxing. What did Brian hit? He put on his YouTube was like 1025, looked pretty clean. He had done 1031 2 years ago when he won the Arnold Strongman Classic, And I'd say it even looked a tad easier. So I think his deadlift, he had some hamstring issues. I think he's back up to his all-time best, and that could be good. I just think he's going to be a little tentative. Things have to be going 100%, and he just feels it, and he's locked in to go for that. Even though he seems to be getting a little more risk-taking as he advances in his career, especially at the Arnold last year. He used to be so methodical, and last year he took a couple risks. So good chance. Jerry Pritchett pulled 950 on a power bar, smooth as butter at the Arnold Santa Monica. I know he had some sort of bicep and shoulder issues, but they seem to be healed up because he did a very smooth 420-pound log in his training. He even called me out on it, saying, unlike what I say, he's more good for more than a deadlift. Not exactly what I said, but appreciate the shout out, Jerry. And I think he's going to give a good attempt at pulling this bar. He hasn't done, it doesn't seem, at least from his training that he's posted, that he's done as much specific training on a long bar like the elephant bar and trying to simulate it like Brian Shaw and Hafthor do. He's trained specifically on a more of a deadlift or a stiff power bar, and always trains about in the 900-ish range, and he even posted, I think, 2 singles at 950 recently. So he's looking good as ever on that. And I'd say he has a good shot at it as well. Other people like JF Karan, Ronald Hanla, Mikhail Shivlikov are also, chance are that they're probably going to, we could see a couple more 1,000-pound deadlifts, but that's not this discussion. We're talking about what's going on with the elephant bar deadlift record. Can anyone get that $50,000? I think it's going to happen. I think Hafthor has the biggest shot, followed by Jerry Pritchett, followed by Brian Shaw. All three possibly could. That's a crazy thing to say. It wasn't until the day before in 2016, or the week before maybe, that I believed that Eddie was going to pull that 500 kilo. It just felt right. And then I predicted he would in an article I did on Flow Elite back then. And I'm going to say Hafthor does it, but I would not be surprised if 3 get it, which is a crazy